Good morning, everybody. I apologize.
Morning, Charlie.
Okay, I just want to make sure everybody was able to hear me. Sorry, I went to unmute the first time and my computer just lost it, shut down and restarted. So I apologize. Let me get everything back opened here again and we'll get started. Okay, so quick update on where we are on the downtown project. So this last week, we finished all of the roadway paving for the street side of this project by completing the paving of the Ashland and Buxton intersection. They did begin the permeable paver installation on Ashland between Buxton and B Street. That was actually finished, I believe, yesterday. So all the pavers are now down on the street side as well. We continue to work on sidewalks. Last week, the removal and installations of the sidewalk from Buxton down to about where, well, I guess it's about to where Crimson Acre is there was done and completed. And they did begin the last stretch from Crimson Acre down to the alley this week, and it is my understanding that they are pouring the last piece of that this morning, and that the full walkable path on the mid-block of Ashland should be back opened by tomorrow morning. And there's still a little bit of sidewalk construction between the curb and the sidewalk on some of the decorative features that still needs to take place, but we anticipate that that should be wrapped up, at least with the concrete pouring by next week. And so looking at what's happening this week, we are starting to remove sidewalks on the block of Ashland between Buxton and B Street. I believe they are removing all of the south side of that street. As we've talked with those business owners, we were able to make a full run on that to really kind of speed up that process. And then from Buxton to about Willow Moon, and then again from the alley down to B Street was also removed. So really that entire block of Ashland was removed, sans a small piece from the alley to Willow Moon, just to provide access for those businesses there. And then that last piece will be done next week. We also anticipate, again, the seed and grass plantings to take place hopefully either this week or next week. It sounds like we are next on their list to get that done. So that should hopefully take place here either this week or next week. And then there is just a little bit of subdrain work that needs to be done now that the sidewalk is removed on the south side, to get some drainage into that alley there behind Buxton Street. But I believe that was supposed to be done, I believe, yesterday. If not, that's getting done today. And then again, I mentioned on the sidewalk, we're getting that last color band installed today right in front of Lulabelle. That should cure again today and overnight, and we'll have that full walkable path open. So we're really getting down to the last, I would say, 3 to 4 weeks of this project here on the street side. Sidewalk construction, fingers crossed. All of the concrete on this phase should hopefully be wrapped up by the end of next week, if not a little bit into the week of the 17th. And then from there, it's as simple as getting the street lights in, getting the street signage in, the parking lines and everything painted on the ground. And then there is a lot of plantings that still need to take place yet too on this phase. Tree plantings, we're going to be able to get all the trees in on Ashland before winter hits. I'm not an expert when it comes to this stuff, but I'm told by people who are that it's actually a better idea to plant trees in the winter when they're dormant rather than during the summer months. So we're going to get that done here before then. And then really from there, it's just getting the streets open. So you know, again, if the timeline still plays out, we're looking at hopefully, you know, I would say in the next 3 to 4 weeks, kind of getting this thing wrapped up here and everything hopefully reopened. Again, the long range forecast is still looking pretty favorable for that, but you're going to see, again, I think the the concrete kind of finishing up here in the next week to week and a half, but then there is still just some kind of finishing and buttoning up of some items that needs to take place a couple weeks after that, and then we should be pretty much wrapped up. So high level again, all walkable past the sidewalk should hopefully be done next week, and then there's just a couple of weeks of finishing up the plantings, putting the street lights back in, painting and things like that, and then we should hopefully have everything reopened to traffic. So with that, take any questions and we'll go from there.
Hi, Charlie. This is Brandy.
Hey, Brandy.
Quick question on the sidewalk right there by my space. So last week we talked a little bit about them splitting it right in the middle of our doorway, and it doesn't look like that's what their plan is, at least as of right.
It is, and if you're probably basing it off where that fence is right now, and it's just because that fence panel, the size of it, it's just where it is right now. But no, they have every intention on splitting it on your patio.
Okay, I was going to say I just need to plan accordingly.
Yep.
So
nope, that's their plan. I verified that with them yesterday, and that's what they plan on doing. And I think once they get to that, and I'll double check that today just to make sure that we're on there again. That's what Brian had told me yesterday, but I'm not sure what they all got removed at the end of the day yesterday on that. But nope, that's their plan. At least that was yesterday. And if anything's changed, I'll let you know. But I would be surprised if it did change.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Anything else?
I'm not seeing anything in the chat.
Well, I apologize for the technical issues this morning and making everybody stay on just a little bit longer, but as usual, reach out if there's any questions. And again, I'd be somewhat surprised if we have any more than 3 or 4 more of these coming here. I think, and just because I know that these are recorded and they do go out, the other bit of news that we will probably start sharing here pretty soon is schedule moving forward. Obviously, we're gonna shift over to alleys. And it sounds like Absolute wants to get started on one of the alleys as soon as they're done with this current phase on Ashland. It sounds like it'll be the eastern alley, so the one that is behind Regions. There's multiple reasons for that, and I won't get into that. But I think that's where they're going to kind of start this year, and then obviously next year, alley construction is going to proceed. Once everything kind of, they'll finish one, move to the next one, sort of thing. So I know that for the businesses, there's still going to be a little bit of disruption that happens with that alley construction, and we'll work through some of those issues, but hopefully from the general public side of things, it'll be much less disruptive. So, but I think we have a meeting on Friday to kind of go over some scheduling on that, and I think hopefully by this time next week we can start kind of discussing the plan for that moving forward. All right, appreciates everybody's time this morning, and we'll see everybody next week.
Thank you.
Charlie.